Now, tell me, outside of Spermidine, what else do you have going on? What's exciting for you that you got coming up?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the real exciting things was my company. Okay, so let me build this up. So again, my background, exercise scientist. I've had a background in HRV for a long time, but back in 2015, I helped the coach from Ohio State solve a problem with one of his wrestlers, and we diagnosed it, and we prescribed this guy back to exercise health using HRV strictly. He was way overtrained. He was maladapting to his training. We used HRV to say, okay, what training is appropriate? We take a kid who's struggling to where he made All-American that year, and we basically modified 9 or 10 exercises. So it's like we saw the power of this from a diagnostic standpoint. We then used it prescriptively. Do we train harder? Do we train less? With in wrestling, the real season starts in January. So we have weight cutting season in November. You wrestle a couple tournaments, you go into December weight, and then there's a break from Christmas to New Year's. And the guys come back right before New Year's, and we usually start our next real drive for nationals. Now, I get about 7 days between they get back and when we go to a match, so I can really do a deep dive into training and really push them hard. Well, the guys all come back the first day, and we're going to bury them. Okay. We've got 7 days, and we're going to bury them day one. I got the worst HRV measurements on my team in an entire year the day they came back from holiday. And what we learned is family stress is worse than any stress. Okay. And I see this data, and the guys are warming up, and it was completely unexpected on my part. And I went to the coach. I said, listen, we cannot bury these guys today. We need to go to plan B. We need to do a drilling, low level. Let's get back in the groove. We did that, came back the next day. All the numbers were back up, and boom, we hit it hard. But if we bury them that day, we may never get them back. We may never get the recovery back. So we used it prescriptively. Well, and finally we can use it for selection. Listen, we qualified 10 guys for nationals last year there. 8 of them had an RV that I predicted would make them All-American. They did. 2 of them didn't. 2 didn't. So we can use it for selection. It's an incredibly powerful variable. So when we start to look at that, and for individuals, as I watch the HRV community, I see people making decisions on how they're going to train that day based on what their numbers were from the night before. I think that's a mistake. I think what you have to do is you got to get a goal out there. I call them trainable life events. It's something that you put a picture on the wall for. No one takes a picture of their scale and puts it on the wall. Okay. It doesn't happen. So that's why weight loss is such a bad goal. But if my goal is I want to enjoy the family vacation in Thursday and Friday. So we'll have Thanksgiving Thursday, and we've got a big blended family thing we do down here in North Carolina. Friday is Family Olympics. So we have 3 families that are together that will be competing against each other in all these different kinds of games. And the memes that come on phone texting are hilarious, getting ready for this. But this is an event. This is a life event. This is something we look forward to. Whether it's a 5K run or a marathon or a hike or something like that, something where you throw your arm around someone and you take a picture. That's what we train for. Okay. Keep that out there. Use your HRV to make sure you're moving in the right direction. You may have a low day, but you still got to do the training. If all of a sudden your stress is causing you not to adapt, then you have to take a step back and adjust, but you got to base it on the goal. Okay. Not what I did the night before. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Now, my company came to me and said, okay, so how would you supplement this? Well, I left sports science to go work in cannabis. I had some people talking to me, and I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out. And what we learn when you go into the cannabis business is chapter 2 of Exercise 101 should be teaching about the endocannabinoid system, part of your nervous system that is run with molecules that look like cannabis molecules. When you exercise, you produce a molecule that's called anandamide. This is where the runner's high comes from. This is the saddest, and it modulates your nervous system. HRV is a measurement of this. Okay. So when you look at, and we've all heard of CBD and these kinds of things coming along. As I've looked at this industry, I said, wow, there's something here. So we actually are releasing a product December 1st. It's called HRV Plus. It's in a brand that we call Mode and Method, modemethod.com. But HRV Plus is a blend of cannabinoids, CBD, CBDA, beta-caryophyllene, which is a dietary cannabinoid, some other supplements. This is all in a fish oil, omega-3 DHA EPA fish oil. But the fish oil also has what's called SPM, specialized pro-resolving mediators. SPMs are the final stage of the resolution of inflammation process. They're biologically available and they really improve inflammation. So our HRV Plus is a combination of cannabinoids and omega-3 fats, DHA, EPA, SPMs in a single supplement. Our samples we went through a sample program with this. The results have been wonderful. We're very excited about it. So that will release December 1st. So that's the other thing on our docket as we move into the new year.
Amazing. Really exciting stuff.